Hello everyone, my name is Spooks. Tonight we're going to take a closer look at 11 unsettling videos, each with their own peculiar mystery. I'll share my thoughts along the way. Subscribe if you're drawn to the unexplained. Let's begin. The first video we're checking out today comes from the TikTok account Dude My House is Haunted. A pretty great name, especially considering what's caught on camera. The clip starts with the uploader explaining how he was walking through the kitchen when he saw a cabinet door slowly creak open on its own. He's mid-story when something strange happens again.
But sometimes I could unplug it and plug it back in and it would stop doing it, but now it's making this. Whoa! Okay, see, I didn't even move. I wasn't even moving.
Sure enough, the exact same cabinet swings open by itself, just like he described. He even opens the cabinet to show there's nothing inside and no rigging or strings that might explain it. That alone would be eerie enough, but then something else kicks in to take things up a notch.
See, that snap's closed. Alright. See? That's the freaking noise. Oh my freaking god. Alright. Creepy crap going on in the house. Oh man. Alright.
Out of nowhere, the freezer lets out a loud, jarring noise that causes him to jump. It's the kind of sound that could have a rational explanation, maybe a mechanical quirk, but given the timing, it definitely feels like part of something larger. What's especially unsettling here is how casual and quiet the setting is. Just an ordinary kitchen during a quiet moment. There's no dramatic build-up, no spooky lighting, just something unexplained happening in plain view. Could this be nothing more than a hoax using fishing line or editing? Maybe, but the simplicity of it all is what makes it so effective. The same can be said about most TikTok ghost videos. If this footage is real, there might be more going on in that house than a few random noises. A video posted to YouTube all the way back in January of 2013 by a user known as Brun9711 shows a kid playing around with the tech deck skateboard. Oh, the nostalgia. So far everything seems normal, but just as he's getting into it and having fun, something unexpected and downright eerie occurs.
Bruno! Se movió la silla.
Leal?
Out of nowhere, the chair in the kitchen suddenly scrapes backward, as if being pulled by an invisible force. It's loud enough to startle everyone, and especially the family cat, who immediately bolts in fear. The kid just sits there, stunned, staring at what just happened. Then, right at the very end of the video, something else unsettling occurs.
Sí. Tipo, es de arquiteta.
A door slams shut on its own with no one in sight. The combination of events, first the chair, then the door, suggests this may not have been a one-off fluke. There's a genuine sense of progression to the activity, almost like something is making its presence increasingly known. Of course, there are rational explanations worth considering. Some viewers might point to the possibility of a fishing line or string being used to pull the chair, and while that can't be ruled out entirely, there's nothing obvious in the footage to indicate where such a line would be pulled from. It all looks and feels very organic. Also worth noting is the cat's response. Animals are often believed to be more sensitive to strange energies or subtle changes in their environment, and the way this one bolts the moment the chair moves adds another layer of intrigue. Ultimately, this is one of those clips that sits in a grey area. Maybe explainable, maybe not. But one thing's for sure, the poor kid probably didn't touch a tech deck again for a long time after this. A man named Barlebo posted this eerie video to his TikTok account in May of 2025. The footage was captured by a home security camera in the middle of the night, and what it shows is both strange and unsettling. The video begins by showing the homeowner's property under cover of darkness. At first, everything seems calm, but then this happens.
यस्तो मान्छे कहाँ हुन्छ किन बस्यो है स्लो गरे है मैले फेरि धेरै स्लो हुन्छ भनेर छोडिदिनु गम्बुट लाछ हैन मेरो गम्बुट रहेछ कपालले जिम्रिनु कपाल जिम्रिनु रहेछ ओ कपाल उड्यो यो मान्छे कपाल उड्यो छाया जस्तो छ हैन गम्बुटबाट माथि क्लियर देखिदैन नि के कपाल उड्दै गएको छ कपाल उडिरहेछ हैन फेरि यो गर्दा कपाल उडेको जस्तो हुन्छ क्या अब त्यो क्लियर गर्दा अरु केटाहरु आउँछ सर्लकै देख्छ फेरि.
If you look closely, you'll see what appears to be the figure of a ghostly woman silently walking across the property. She lingers for nearly a full minute before the footage abruptly cuts off, leaving behind more questions than answers. There's something especially eerie about how calm and purposeful her movements seem. Not erratic or playful, but deliberate, as if she knew where she was going. Some viewers have speculated that it may have just been a real person distorted by a low-light camera quality, which can often make shadows and clothing appear more ethereal than they are. Still, the figure's pale, hazy appearance and slow pacing feel undeniably ghostly. Who was this mysterious woman? Was she simply passing through? Was she lost or searching for something or someone? Or maybe even in the afterlife, she's just committed to getting her steps in. Let me know your theories down below. TikTok user WinMacPix posted video to his account on July 20th, 2023, where he starts off by saying that something is watching him. According to the uploader, he was just trying to relax and play some video games at home when he began noticing something odd repeatedly passing by his window. To try and catch it, he sets his phone camera down to record himself while gaming. And sure enough, something does happen.
Something keeps passing by this window. I've just propped up the phone here and I'm gonna play. If you're walking by my office, I want you to knock it off.
Suddenly, he grabs the phone and begins walking around, calling out into the house and telling whatever might be there to knock it off. But if it was a spirit, it apparently didn't take kindly to being told what to do.
Holy. Is that you making all that noise back there? This thing's always closing doors. You need to get out. Dude, will you knock it off, please?
Objects begin to fly across the room in a burst of chaotic movement. Then, one of the doors opens on its own, and just before it closes again, you can make out a shadowy, human-like figure standing in the room.
You gotta get out. You're gonna lock yourself in the laundry room again? You're not leaving?
If you pause at just the right moment, the silhouette is undeniably chilling. In fact, here's a frame from the video. The figure appears to be standing motionless, partially cloaked in the darkness of the hallway. It's subtle, but that's exactly what makes it so creepy. Some viewers have speculated that the shadow figure could have been added with visual effects, possibly by masking the figure behind the doorframe and blending it into the dark environment to make it look seamless. The lighting and perspective here would definitely make such an effect more convincing. Still, even knowing that, it doesn't take away from how eerie the moment feels. Whether it's a real haunting or cleverly executed hoax, this clip certainly captures the imagination. What do you think? Visual trickery or something paranormal? Over on TikTok, a woman named Sandra shares that ever since her mother passed away, she's been experiencing some truly strange activity inside her house, and it's understandably starting to freak her out. In the video, we see Sandra filming inside a bedroom, and almost immediately, something unusual takes place.
It keep happening in my house since my mom passed away. Like, why?
One of the drawers begins to slowly open all by itself. Sandra then moves closer to show there's nothing around. No strings, fans, or pets that could be causing this to happen. It's an eerie moment, made all the more unsettling by how calmly it plays out. But what's even more fascinating is the timing of what happens next.
I looked underneath the drawer, I looked behind it, there's nothing making it pop out. And it seems like it's when I bring up my mom that something happens. Mom? Okay, that's fucking weird.
Just a second or two after Sandra calls out for her mom, the drawer opens once again, almost like a direct response. The timing is incredibly specific and raises all sorts of questions. Of course, as always, it's possible this could be staged using something like fishing wire, though as with many of these types of videos, no such setup is visible. But if we take it at face value, this could be a touching and subtle form of communication between mother and daughter from beyond the grave. It's one of those clips that manages to feel both unsettling and oddly comforting at the same time. What do you think? Is this paranormal or just a well-executed trick? Over on the Ghost subreddit, a user known as the Proof Seekers shared a video that captures some genuinely unsettling activity taking place inside someone's bedroom, and in the middle of the day, no less. The footage comes from a locked-off camera aimed at the room. At first, nothing seems to be happening. It looks like your average, quiet bedroom, but that changes very quickly. Without warning, a strange, whispery yet deep voice can be heard saying hello from somewhere nearby. It's brief, but definitely eerie. Unfortunately, there isn't much context given in the post. Still, the lack of explanation doesn't make the clip any less creepy. In fact, it might make it worse. The voice is clear enough to be heard distinctly, but there's no visual indication of where it's coming from. That's what really unsettles people. Commenters were quick to weigh in. Some called the voice the stuff of nightmares, while others wondered if maybe it could have come from a video game or television playing in another room. But nothing in the clip suggests a plausible source for the voice. So what do you think? Could this have been a random, explainable sound picked up at just the right moment? Or is it something more sinister? One thing's for sure, that voice doesn't sound like anything you'd want to hear when you're home alone. This next video comes to us from a YouTuber known as Bag John, who uploaded this eerie footage to his channel all the way back in May of 2008. In the first clip, we see the uploader walking around his house, seemingly attempting to bless the kitchen, and that's when things begin to take a seriously creepy turn. Out of nowhere, multiple objects are seen getting tossed to the floor by what appears to be an invisible force. Meanwhile, the camera starts making odd static noises that seem to intensify the chaos. The uploader's reaction, visibly shaking and breathing rapidly, makes it clear he's completely rattled by the experience. Then the video cuts off. But it doesn't end there. A follow-up was posted not long after, this time showing footage from a stationary camera positioned inside the same kitchen, and what it captures is pretty chilling. If you look closely, a strange, ghostly figure appears to move across the kitchen before vanishing into thin air. It's a blink and you'll miss it moment, but it's definitely noticeable once pointed out. Of course, there's always the chance that the moving objects in the first video could have been staged with fishing line or clever off-camera manipulation. As for the second part, some might argue the ghostly figure was added in post-production or could be a trick of light and compression artifacts. However, if this was all pulled off as a hoax back in 2008, it would have required a decent level of planning and skill, given the limited tools available at the time. So what do you think? Was this a genuine case of paranormal interference during a home blessing, or something more explainable behind the scenes? Either way, it's certainly one of the more memorable Poltergeist clips from YouTube's earlier days. In June of 2025, TikTok user Kyle Anthony posted a video claiming that strange, unexplained events had been occurring in his home, specifically in the basement. In the video, Kyle begins by walking through his house with his phone, making his way to the basement. His cat, noticeably on edge, seems to confirm that something isn't right. If you listen carefully, faint knocking can be heard coming from below. Kyle opens the basement door and peers down the stairs. At first, everything seems normal, but then this happens.
The heck is that? Is that you? What the heck is that? I guess that wasn't you, was it? Are we doing this again? Anyway, I don't know. What in the heck?
While Kyle scans the staircase, a ghostly child's voice can suddenly be heard coming from somewhere down below. Moments later, there's the sound of rapid footsteps coming up the stairs, despite no one being visible. In a second video, Kyle investigates the attic. The clip begins with the attic door making strange sounds, as though something is lightly knocking or shifting behind it. Kyle then climbs up into the space.
Alright, for any of y'all who don't believe that this is real, then I'm just making it up. I'm about to prove it to you.
Once inside, the attic appears completely ordinary, dusty, empty, and silent. Whatever was making noise is nowhere to be found. So what's going on here? The sequence of sounds in both videos feels eerily timed, especially the disembodied voice and the sudden rush of footsteps. While skeptics might suggest that the audio could be added after the fact or chalk it up to settling noises, the tension and timing make it feel a little too precise for pure coincidence. If this is a hoax, it's been executed with care. But if not, then Kyle might be sharing a house with something that doesn't want to stay hidden. Over on TikTok, a woman named Megs posted a highly unsettling video to her account that showcases some legitimately bone-chilling paranormal activity unfolding in the middle of the day in her house. In the video, we watch as Megs pulls out her phone camera and starts recording because she feels like something is wrong. We see her brother sleeping on the couch, completely unaware that while he rests, something absolutely horrifying is lingering very close by. Although it appears very briefly, if you look down the hallway at the start of the video, you can make out what appears to be some sort of ghostly apparition standing near the door. In just a second or two, the figure disappears without a trace. In the description of the video, Megs says the clip was actually recorded 6 years ago, and even now she still has no idea what could have possibly been captured on camera that day. If you look closely at the comparison frames, the vacuum cleaner in the hallway stays in the exact same position, which makes the sudden vanishing of the figure even stranger. There's no obvious movement or exit, and the change happens in an instant. Some viewers have speculated it could be a person stepping back into a room just out of view, or possibly even a clever use of video editing. However, the fact that the video is years old and only resurfaced recently makes the hoax theory a bit harder to pin down with certainty. So what do you guys think? Was this hallway truly haunted, or is there a more grounded explanation hiding just out of frame? Let me know in the comments. In June of 2025, TikTok user Sari Tao, 86, shared a video that quickly unsettled thousands of viewers. The text overlaid on the video is cryptic and chilling, warning that people are terrified by what's captured in the footage and that she herself can no longer stay in the house. The backstory is brief but disturbing. She had been sent by a realtor to clean the house after the latest tenants abruptly moved out. According to her, the realtor mentioned that this kept happening, tenants breaking their leases early, but never explained why. She likely didn't expect that she would soon understand.
Esta casa se ha limpiado muchísimas veces porque rompe el contrato a la gente. Ay, no mames.
Not long into the video, a door eerily swings open on its own. While this alone could be dismissed as wind or faulty hinges, the events that follow suggest something far more sinister may be unfolding.
es porque de plano no aguantan a vivir aquí. Y ahorita les voy a enseñar lo demás para allá. Déjenme prender la luz. Entonces, el Señor dice que ya van varias familias. Entonces, el Señor dice que ya van.
As the woman moves slowly through the home, more strange sounds echo through the halls. Footsteps, taps, it's hard to say, but they appear to have no visible source, and the unease in the room only deepens. Then comes the moment that has left viewers deeply unsettled.
Se escucha el ruido por acá. No sé qué sea. Escuché mucho ruido. Yo creo que me voy a tener que... Se escucha el ruido por acá. No sé qué sea. Escuché mucho ruido. No sé qué sea. Escuché mucho ruido. Tengo que ir a apagar la luz de ella porque se está poniendo ya. Ay, no, no.
At around the 3:35 mark, a shadowy figure, what many are calling a shadow person, appears to be peeking out from behind a doorframe. It's subtle but unmistakable. About 20 seconds later, another door opens entirely on its own. The sheer number of unexplained occurrences within a single video is remarkable, and that's partly what makes this clip stand out. It doesn't rely on a single scare, rather it builds an eerie atmosphere layered with multiple unsettling details. As with any viral paranormal video, there are skeptics. Some have pointed out that the door movements could be rigged using fishing line or air currents. However, the appearance of the shadow figure sparked real debate. Could it be a clever use of VFX? Maybe. But others argue the lighting and shadow consistency make it feel more organic. If this were faked, it's been done with notable care and subtlety. Whether it's a hoax or not, the story behind the footage, the cycle of tenants fleeing, the chilling warning in the text, and the atmosphere captured on video adds a layer of authenticity that's hard to shake. For now, we can only hope for an update from Saritao86. Until then, the mystery of this house continues to haunt the internet. Elementary schools are typically seen as places of joy, learning, and growth. They shape the minds of children and provide a safe space to explore the world for the very first time. But not all schools remain warm and welcoming, especially when they've been long abandoned. Some of these places, as this next video suggests, seem to hold on to something darker. TikTok user Mike Runner posted a video in August of 2023 that shows him exploring a school building that's clearly been left to decay for years. As he moves quietly through the empty halls, a creeping sense of unease follows every step. At around the 2-minute mark, Mike begins to find children's drawings lying in different places across the floor, each one seemingly forgotten where it fell. While most appear harmless at first glance, a few of them depict eerie, almost unsettling figures that don't quite feel like the product of a child's imagination. The fact that they're scattered in various rooms rather than grouped together adds to the sense of abandonment, as if the school was left behind in a hurry, frozen in a moment that should have faded long ago. Then, as the exploration continues, an eerie metallic voice suddenly cuts through the silence. It's hard to tell where the sound is coming from, or what it's even supposed to be, but it has a robotic, unnatural tone that echoes hauntingly through the empty halls. Some viewers believe this could be evidence of something otherworldly communicating through the space, while others speculate that the voice may have been added during post-production, as similar effects could be created using basic audio filters and distortion tools. Still, in the moment, the sound feels so well integrated that it only deepens the unsettling mood. And just when you think it couldn't get any creepier, at the 3-minute mark, a large, dark figure can be seen standing motionless in the corner of a room. It doesn't move, it doesn't react, it just looms in place. It's easy to overlook at first, but once spotted, the figure becomes the most haunting element of the clip. Some say it could be a shadow or an object mistaken for a person, but others argue that its shape is too deliberate, too defined to be anything accidental. Whatever the truth may be, this video captures the eerie stillness and lingering presence that so many associate with haunted spaces, especially those that were once filled with children's laughter and are now consumed by silence. And that was 11 scary videos. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe for more chilling content. My name is Sir Spooks, and I'll see you all in the next one.